Welcome to Expression. Come on in.
Expression is a very unique college. We believe in hands-on education. So when a student comes to Expression, we put them in one of the 3 programs which may interest them, which is sound arts, digital visual media, and digital graphic design.
So when you first come into Expression, you'll see our Wall of Fame. We have these white squares and black squares. The white squares are principally students who have enrolled in the program. It's the only college where I think you get to actually tag a wall the first day that you're here. And then the black squares we devote to celebrity guest artists, visitors, all various kinds of people. George Clinton, Parliament and the Funkadelics. Here's Ray Harryhausen's signature. Jack Johnson, Ben Harper, Pete Docter from Monsters, Inc. So we have lots of visitors here all the time. The students are exposed to all kinds of industry professionals, and we have some great entertainers that come through and love Expression.
Hi, I'm Andrew Britt. I'm the director of the Digital Visual Media Department here at Expression. And right now we're in Meyer Hall. What we're going to demonstrate for you today is motion capture. So right now you see one of our very brave students, Mishka, has volunteered to get into our motion capture suit. And you'll see that she's covered with a large number of highly reflective spheres. And these shine very brightly from the view of all these cameras. And that's what we're seeing up here. If you can see on the screen, Devlin's going to, we're looking from the view of one camera right now. And now you can see that's the view of all 8 cameras at the same time, watching Mishka walk around the area. So what it's able to do is take all that information from these 2D cameras and do a whole bunch of math and turn it into 3D information. So first of all, Mishka is going to start in the center in what we call the T-pose, facing that camera. So now we're going to be in the capturing mode where it's going to record her movements. Oh, great. Good acrobatics. Once it's processed, you're going to be able to see a wireframe of the footage, and the students take that and they clean it up and they process it, and then they put it on their own characters. Every student gets to build their own, design their own character, build their own character, record motion capture, and put it on their character and render it out. So they each truly go through the entire process from A to Z. If you want to be an artist in the computer game industry, learn on the traditional tools, learn with a pencil, learn with a paintbrush, and then, of course, do the computer graphics as well. But that's not what I see as the problem. I see that the struggle is getting the traditional arts and having something to express to begin with.
My name is Ty Carrier, and I teach at the Expression School. I've been here for about 5 years, and I teach, amongst other things, game development and texturing and lighting. And basically what happens is that the students form together and make a production group. There has to be a project lead, concept artist, modeler, texture artist, and what they do is they give themselves a name, like these guys, the researchers. Within 5 weeks, they have to do what most game companies try and do in several months. They have to go from concept to completion of a playable mod or level inside of the Unreal Engine, which is what we use. First few days, they have to come up with an idea really quick. Then the concept artists have to start cranking out as many images as they can. Then as soon as the concept art is actually generated, then the modelers have to get in and start modeling out from all that concept art. One of the things they also have to do, though, is they actually have to create sort of a description of their game or their level, which shows who did what, concept work, screenshots, textures. It's 5 weeks. By about the 3rd, 4th week, they get into a lot of testing and adding different bells and whistles and going in and trying to break it. When they actually go in, that's where the fun really starts, because then you can add all sorts of effects, lift different lighting effects, like lightning and fake projections of light coming through windows. I think that to get into games, it's lucrative, it's fun. If you want to get into it, I would say start drawing. There's a lot of games out there that come with an editor to start to really make content in it. I've had students who are 19 years old who've gotten a job animating making $75,000 a year. So it is a legitimate, real business, and it's a fun business where if you're going to have fun on your job, you're going to do better.
John Scanlon, Director of Sound Arts at Expression College for Digital Arts, and we're going on the tour. So, Globecast Studio here, and what we use this for is when we're doing shows in Meyer Hall or live concerts, we actually teach students streaming over the web. We archive everything to either mini DV or to window media files on that computer right over there. And the Globecast here has got a character generator. We can do graphics and throw backgrounds behind people if they're in there on the blue screen. I work on a lot of outside projects. This is one of them right here. A group called Ozomotley from LA, 13-piece Latin hip-hop band. So what it is, if I get outside projects, I usually bring them to the school and then the students work on them. So the SSL 6000. In 1985, we actually got this from Criteria Studios in Miami, Gloria Estefan's studio. This teaches them basic analog signal flow, which they're going to need a pretty vast knowledge of if they're getting into anything digital. The first couple of months, they're actually in the core Sound Arts program. They're in here doing recording sessions with bands. We're still using 2-inch analog tape, reel to reel. So we have 24 tracks of analog there, and then we have 24 tracks of these DA90, 838 combinations. This hallway here will act as an isolation booth if we want to. And this is the main tracking space in here for this particular room. And what we've also got underneath this carpet is Foley pits. So this one is sand, and one of the other ones we have actually analog tape that we use for leads and stuff like that. The Hendrix Studio, which we just dedicated last Friday. This is a Neve VR. The cool thing about this is it's actually got what's called flying faders. So basically what this is the SSL is a little bit different because with the SSL what you can do is you can actually automate fader moves through timecode. And then the only difference with this room is there are no Foley pits, and acoustically it's a little bit liver. Great slapback room for drum recordings and stuff like that. So mostly music done in here, obviously, because there is no Foley pits. So we have the O2R V96 in here. They do a couple different things in here. They do audio post-production for film, TV, radio, stuff like that. They do a lot of their game audio production in here, recording live Foley and sound effects. These rooms are used a lot too for gaming, sound design, stuff like that. And these mimic kind of a smaller, higher end suites. So, to create the game audio curriculum, what I did was I went to Maxis and I sat with their lead sound designers. I went to EA, I went to LucasArts, and I sat with these people and said, what do you need out of a potential student? This was one of the things that was required when we first opened the school was people don't know how to work in a smaller studio. So this is a Yamaha DM2000 console. It's not a big 48-channel analog mixer. It's a 96 input digital mixer and 24 tracks of digital tape recording down there at the bottom. Here's a unique thing about this room. You stick a band in this room, you do some Foley in this room, whatever you're doing. All the microphones that are happening in this room will feed the panel directly behind you there. Okay? And from that panel, the microphone signal is sent over here to an instructor's booth. Okay? From that instructor's booth, it's split out 6 different ways. Okay? So every single room you see surrounding this live room right here is all getting the exact same signals at the exact same time. So the reason for this is that because, as we looked at education, what's the best way for somebody to learn? Doing it themselves, making mistakes themselves. And the more mistakes you make by yourself, the more you learn from it. So by giving everybody their own room, it allows them to have to troubleshoot themselves and not rely on other people. So this is the instructor booth right here. So we have a full 24-track Pro Tools system and a Control 24. These are all the active mic splitters right here, which will actually split the microphone signal out to the 6 different studios. So this is kind of the mothership of the school. The console that was in there is a Studer D950, and it's $1 million. So we got a nice big live space around here. We can actually switch the reverb time of the room. Okay, so you can change the reverb time in the room. You got 4 different isolation booths around here. The first day of class is actually sitting down with the PlayStation 2 and an Xbox and playing different games. Yeah, it's a great class. They love it.
Let's walk over here to a couple of our computer labs. The one we're heading to right now is named after Chuck Jones, who is one of the classic animators of all time. He did a lot of the Looney Tunes, and we were lucky enough to have his daughter come and do a ribbon cutting ceremony for this lab. These are all great machines. They're all dual processors, 2 gigs of RAM, stacked with all the latest software. We spent a lot of time on Maya, and we also get into After Effects and Kadara Motion Builder for the motion capture stuff. Over there you'll see some animation stands. We teach students traditional animation, and so those stands allow you to put your paper down and shoot frame-by-frame pencil animation, because we always like to teach the fundamentals. We have a 1-to-1 student-computer ratio during both lecture and lab. What that allows the teacher to do is demonstrate something that involves a bunch of complicated steps and then hands it back and say, okay, now you guys do it. This next lab is called the Ray Harryhausen suite, and that's named after Ray Harryhausen, who's considered to be the father of visual effects. And we were lucky enough to have Ray Harryhausen himself come here and do a ribbon cutting ceremony for this lab.
My name is Laura McCormick, and I'm the Interim Program Director for the Digital Graphic Design program here at Expression College for Digital Arts. And I'm also a course director, so I teach within the program. I teach at the beginning of the program and the end, and what's great is I have the opportunity to get students when they're raw and they don't know anything about design. Like, they may not even know how to use Photoshop. And they learn the basics like typography and color. And then later on I get them in the program, they're doing motion graphics, which is what you're seeing a little bit of here. So they're applying their design knowledge across all types of mediums. These clips are motion graphics work done by students. Most of them are for either the motion class or the 3D in motion class. So some of them have the logos done in Maya. Those are the 3D portion of those pieces. So everything you see was done by them in its entirety. I mean, most of all, what I encourage the students to do is create things based on who they are as an individual. And you never ever know how that's going to translate. You know, they're not they're not wanting to become specifically game builders or, creating environments, but they might do the package design on the games or the motion graphics for the TV advertisement for that gaming company. I would just say do it. Just listen to, not necessarily expressions, but whatever it is that you think you want to do. Don't think about it too long, just jump in and do it. Because if your heart's telling you to do it, to follow it, you're going to end up doing it eventually. You might as well do it sooner than later.
My name's Andrew Glassmacher. I'm a student at Expression, and I'm in the Sound Arts program studying to be an audio engineer. They had the most comprehensive program. They have great equipment. All their instructors have great industry experience and great industry contacts. The placement department is phenomenal. So, taking all these factors into consideration, that was an easy choice. I came in here thinking, I'm a drummer, and I thought, I want to make records, I want to record bands, I want to record myself, I want to make music. But when I saw the other things that were going on, like even audio post-production for movies, we have Pixar nearby, there's so many more things to do, and we get a taste of all of that here. Definitely, if you want to work in this industry, there's a lot of work to be done, but you can't limit yourself to one field.
The whole future of entertainment is wrapped up basically in broadcast and games. And we take a personal interest in each and every student. We follow them all the way through. They're not a number here. They are an individual with specific talents. So we're not only all about the highest quality education with the highest quality teachers and the lowest teacher-to-student ratio. We're all about what happens after you leave here. And after you get your first job, we don't leave you alone after that. We're always a resource center for you to come back to. And we are a constant resource center for them so that we're always helping them. It's a program called Aftercare. So you're not only placed by the Career Development Department, but you always can come back for more jobs whenever you need one, and we'll help you.